Okay, again, against whatever common sense that may somehow reside in the back of my mind and consciousness, I continue to just on impulse go live. But this time, I actually have done a minute amount of prep. Tonight, I also will be going on the big show, youtube.com/stuck in the middle. I'll be on there 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Central. But I'm just going to dive right in. There's a few things that I need to speak about, and some cases I wanted to revisit, one of which I'm quite passionate about. I remember the day it happened. I remember it so clearly because it was during the primaries when Bernie Sanders was running. And there's another case that, thanks to you lovely people, has been brought to my attention. That is quite a bit of response I've gotten. I'm very humbled, grateful, and I will do my best to show my appreciation, my gratitude, and get to every single email and comment that has offered me new information, topics, feedback to dig into. But first, of course, let me chronologically attend to the Ryan Upchurch thing for the last time. Okay? I promise you, I'm done milking this thing. Okay, that was not my intention when I had set out to do it. What's up, Bert? What's up, Anarchy? It's just I followed it from the beginning, and I, discovered as we went along, suspect, weird, doesn't make sense, and then it got out of hand. So let me give a shout out too, and she's been named by Mr. Upchurch himself. Okay, her name is, and all the credit to her. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Her name is Plunder. She has put the perfect caveat. I think she gave the final stamp of, let this die. Let this ridiculous thing die. I understand that there's going to be, blowback. There's people that don't want to believe that Ryan Upchurch has done any wrong. I believe that he doesn't believe he's done any wrong, but we haven't heard from him for like 48 hours since that very drastic video. I respect the process, the passion, the sincerity behind the intentions. The road to hell sometimes is paved with good intentions. Not that I'm saying the man went to hell or is going to hell, but I think where we ended up was, where I ended up. Me throwing accusations because I felt these people that inserted themselves into the story as it was developing. I was like, yeah, they're sketchy, and I still think there's things that are sketchy, but I never, ever had enough to go ahead and start, just continuing to speculate that there's any guilt on any of these individuals, regardless of my own interpretation of their behavior. The Zanime saga, putting herself at the crime and after the crime and kayaking over the water. That's all I got. She said she's got footage. That's all I got. That's all we all have. That's all we all know, despite whatever the Creek Squad has uncovered. But it's not enough. So Plunder put it best, okay? Kiely Rodni, like it or not, is very real. Go ahead and feel free to watch Plunder's video from 21 hours ago. I watched it on my break at work today. And I feel a little bit sick to my stomach in terms of even entertaining. I don't know why. I think it speaks to a bigger problem and a bigger issue about our just insane and intense distrust in the powers that be, in the people that we are told to entrust our tax dollars and our livelihood and our safety with. And I maintained the debate, the argument with my friend Brock on the other show I did last night, who is always, defending law enforcement. And yes, I had some gripes to pick regarding why do all these three-letter agencies or local police departments, suck up and siphon so much money and fail at their task. Well, nothing and nobody is perfect. And again, Adventures with Purpose deserves so much credit for all the cases they've ever closed and brought closure to. But the KC and Kiely, they're absolutely, unequivocally, undoubtedly two separate, real people. And the evidence is really just right there, ready to stare you in the face if you don't even have to dig deep enough, because Plunder very appropriately to the name, has done it for you. There's so many videos and pictures that she is a master of her craft with the editing, and seeing Kiely Rodni dance with that boyfriend, the Jagger gentleman, who he did say a kind of an odd statement, and I'm going to quote Plunder here, to something to the effect of, he said, she drove drunk and died, and just leave her in peace, let it alone. So if somebody is, diligent with their facts, as Plunder, and other people with, that don't want to always think outside of the box and jump to conspiracy. It is strange. Like, if we don't know the cause of death completely, and somebody told me there's no water in her lungs, but I don't know how he got that information. He needs to supply a receipt. But if she's in the back of the vehicle, not in the front, she's in the back of the vehicle, and that's where she's found, with a window, halfway down, very small amount of space for anybody to fit. So in the world of guessing, which is all we can do with a microphone and a camera, somebody of equal size had to have either, gotten out, or who knows. But I want to recant. I have my simple, just unanswered questions. But that family, and why would Jagger, the boyfriend, so eagerly say, first off, she drove drunk? Really? Okay, clearly he knows more than he has publicly stated. But there's an ongoing investigation. Your FOIA requests to get access to public information during an active investigation is not always going to give you everything that you want. There are still facts that will come out. I think, until I am proven wrong, there's a good reason that Mr. Ryan Upchurch has not posted another video since that. I cannot imagine, of course they privatized that poor girl's Instagram if the mother had the password, even though I saw somebody comment, it was always private. See, we don't know. We never knew. We were going through somebody we trusted, and maybe we were led astray, or we just got lost with him, and that happens. We all get so passionate. I know his intentions were pure and sincere at the beginning, and now I don't know. But for me, my conscience and my ability to be at peace with everything I've done and said, I feel ashamed, and I apologize. The family will not see this video, I have no doubt, and it horrifies me to think that they would see any of the videos of all of the people in podcasts that started on this whole she never existed trip, which is completely and utterly debunked. And I never want to bring that up again. I will see any videos that comes from him. Hopefully, he does not get in any legal trouble. Or then again, if we want consistency, Alex Jones got in trouble for doing something quite similar. So I don't know. But hey, Skins, that's all I had to kind of nip in the bud, the whole chronicle of the Kiely Rodni case with Ryan Upchurch's view. And, let me get on with the getting on, huh? So I do have, I don't know where to start. Let me go with the one that I don't know what my Facebook has going on. Oh, hey, this is inappropriate but funny. I promise it's not pornographic. Yes, you see it. This is taking the channel in a whole different direction for a moment. This lady totally jumps on that old man, and boy, did it not go. He's crying. Okay, anyway, so moving on to... Sorry, that was very random in the direction I wanted to take this. Get ready. First, let's start out with this woman here. All right, this is the case that I memorized like the back of my hand way back in the Bernie Sanders primaries, the first time he ran. At that time, I've evolved quite a bit politically, but at that time, that's who I rooted for, and I make no apologies for that. Sandra Bland. I don't know if you all know the name. Where was it? She was a civil rights activist. I'm trying to remember. Was this in Texas? Yes, it was in Texas. So it starts like this, and I got the pictures all ready, and there's a reason why I have them in the backdrop. I have the video. Actually, if you don't mind, perhaps I will pull up the... Oh, there's that other show I do. Hold on, guys. I need to pull this up for full context. Sandra Bland. Traffic stop. And if you have not ever seen nor heard of this case, there's a reason why, never forget Sandra Bland is and was a thing. CNN, one of my favorite outlets, and that's the okay, let's go with the abridged version, huh? There's the 8 minutes one, edited. I don't want edited. Old cell phone video. Let me go right here. Let me go right here for a moment. I'm very passionate. Sorry about the ad. Sorry, I'm funded by Chia and Del Monte. Yes, okay. Hold on. You need to hear all of this. This did not happen in 2019.
That is part of newly released video recovered from the cell phone of Sandra Bland. She was found dead in a Texas jail cell 3 days after she was arrested during a traffic stop.
Apologies for the audio.
Now that new 30-second video has prompted her family to call for the criminal investigation into her arrest and death to be reopened. Let's get to Natisha Lance. She's looking.
Remember, my only bias is that I want the truth. Okay? People that you may like or feel compelled to defend might get burned by the truth, but it's always going to be the purest thing that we can ever rely on, the truth.
Into this story. Seems like the story is still unfolding here, Natisha.
Yeah, it is, guys. Sandra Bland was the top trend on Twitter.
This is a new footage in 2019 that was dropped. I'm sorry again for how low this is. I will be rectifying this. The recent bump is definitely an inspiration.
Most of the day today with renewed outrage and calls for justice on a case that was a critical point in the Black Lives Matter movement. And now her family believes that video was intentionally kept from them and the public as part of a cover-up.
They waited like 4 years.
Get out of the car now.
Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket for your failure?
Get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door.
Sandra Bland speaks nearly 4 years after her death. New evidence uncovered by the investigative network shows what Bland saw during her traffic stop arrest in Southeast Texas.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car?
Get out of the car.
And then you gonna
I will
stun
light
me?
you up. Get out.
Wow. Now.
Up until now, the only video of the incident came from the dash camera of the officer. Trooper Brian Encinia said he arrested Bland because he feared for his safety.
My safety was in jeopardy at more than one time.
Bullshit.
3 days after Bland's arrest, she was found hanging in her jail cell. Her death ruled a suicide. Cameron Lambert represented Bland's family in a $1.9 million civil suit.
Where'd you get that?
He watched her cell video for the first time with a reporter.
For a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right to record this.
That video shows he's not in fear of his safety, and
The
she's
aggressor.
not reaching for anything. It's already in her hand, and she's recording him.
Encinia was indicted on a perjury charge, but 9 months later, his case was dropped.
Just perjury.
In exchange, he forfeited his law enforcement
No
license.
justice here.
And the Texas Department of Public Safety, as well as the Attorney General there, did not respond to our request today, asking whether or not they intentionally refused to turn that video over to the family. And like I said, this has been a top trend on social media today. So Hind here says the story was always suspect. A lot of people out there agreeing with her on that and also calling for this case to be reopened. Now, we had a pretty good conversation going on our...
So let me just begin to speak about what I recall, which might be better than, poor audio quality and a news clip. I've seen far more video, but that right there is perhaps new to me. I don't know. I've revisited this case quite a few times. So let me paint the picture here. First off, without going back and relying on video, I want to see real quick. I'm sorry. I'm guilty of wanting to paint a little bit more of a picture, but I'm not going to play an entire video. What I want to show is the escalation from a simple traffic stop to it turning up so much that this woman ended up dead. And the circumstances just get far more suspect, and it's heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, and absolutely suspicious. This is not an attack on cops. Whenever there is somebody, a civilian, a human being that ends up dead, we all deserve to know why, especially the victim and the families, more than anything else. But here's what I want to show, and I will skip around. I will not play this entire thing, and I have this thing so memorized that I'm going to show you a picture, and I will challenge you to tell me what you see and if what you see is what I see. So bear with me as I do my little jerry-rigging here. Much better audio.
Your lane change. Got your driver's license, insurance with you? What's wrong?
She was not in the best mood. All she was doing was facial, like, twitches, and you can tell he responded to that. That's not against the law.
How long you been in Texas?
Got here yesterday.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license? No, ma'am. You're okay. Where are you headed to now?
Traffic stop, man. Just give the citation.
You give me a few minutes, all right?
I'm gonna jump.
This tab is what I'm getting the ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me. So I move over and you stop me. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't
You're
stop.
allowed to be irritated, especially if you're issued any kind of citation. You know, the advice is always save it for your day in court, but it is not punishable by death.
You from giving me a ticket. So
Death does not occur at the stop. It gets strange.
Are you done?
you asked me what was wrong, and I told you.
Okay.
So now I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. You mind putting out your cigarette, please? If you don't mind.
Just every little bit of authority he has is just do this, do that, why this, why that. Just give the citation, man.
I'm in my car, but I have to put out my cigarette.
Well, you can step on out now.
I don't have to step out of my car.
Step out of the car.
Still pisses me off.
Why am I-
Step
No,
out
you
of
don't
the car.
have- No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself. and
Step
talk to you.
out or I will remove
I am
you.
getting removed for a failure.
Step
to signal.
out or I will remove
Failure
you.
to
I'm giving you a
signal.
lawful order. Get out of the car now or I'm going to remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm
lawyer.
going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you gonna yank me out of my car?
That's when she started filming.
All right,
25.
let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Get out of the car.
Don't touch me. I'm not under arrest. You don't have the right to take
You
me out of
are
my
under
car.
arrest.
I'm under arrest for what?
2547 County FM 1098. Just
For
north
what?
of 297.
I apologize if you see me get very upset, emotional, which will come out as anger. This case has haunted me ever since I learned of it, and it got international attention when Bernie Sanders even said back in the primaries, never forget Sandra Bland. And there's a reason why there was a movement for this unjust death.
Let me know the unit. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now.
Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket
I
for your
said get
failure?
out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You
I'm
just
giving
opened
you a
my
lawful
car
order.
door. You just
I'm
opened
gonna
my car
drag you
door.
out of here.
So
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
jump.
drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car.
Taser.
And then you
I
gonna
will
stun
light
me?
you up. Get
Done.
out
Wow.
now.
Oh, that's the
Wow.
Get out
firearm
of the
or the
car.
For a
taser, right?
failure to signal. You doing all of this for a
Get
failure?
over there.
Right, yeah.
That's
let's
a
take
firearm.
This to court. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the
On
phone.
my school.
Get off the
I'm not on
phone.
the phone. I have a right
Put
to
your
record.
phone
This is
down.
my property. This
Put
is
your
my
phone
property.
down.
Sir?
Put your phone down.
It gets
right now.
disturbing.
Put your phone down.
She doesn't lose her life here.
For a fucking failure to
If I
signal.
recall,
Come over here.
Y'all are interested.
Come over. If you would have just listened.
I was trying to sign the fucking ticket. Whatever.
Stop moving.
Are you fucking serious?
Pardon the
Oh,
language.
I can't wait till we go to court. Ooh, I can't wait. I cannot wait till we go to court. I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait. You want me-
jumping.
Moving.
I'm standing still. You
Stay
keep
right
moving
here.
me. God damn it.
Stand right there.
Don't touch me. Fucking pussy for a traffic.
Now.
Jumping.
Stop it.
Stop resisting, man.
If you would stop, and I would tell
There's
you.
another cop on the scene, and now you're going to hear her crying. You're going to hear Sandra Bland in pain, crying.
You are fucking traffic.
Now stop.
You are such a pussy. You are such a pussy. No, you are.
You're yanking around.
She had every right to say these things, these profane things, given the circumstances.
Oh, traffic signal.
You are yanking around. When you pull away from me, you're resisting arrest.
This make you feel real good, don't it? A female for a traffic signal. I got it. For a traffic signal. I know that make you feel good, officer. Ain't seen it. I know it make you feel real good. You're a real man now. You just
Okay,
slam me.
all right. Okay. They knocked her head into the ground. So, all right, some feedback before I show you what I'm about to show you, okay? context, if you will. So she is taken to the local jailhouse, and well, it's one of those funny situations where all the right security cameras are not where they needed to be, or simply not submitted whatever was on the footage. That seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? When are we going to just start calling that out as absolutely, completely inappropriate, unjust? It obstructs the ability for the truth to get to the public, the people, we the people. So let me stop the rhetoric for a moment. And at some point, you hear the report as I've related earlier. She is found hung. She hung herself 3 days into serving her jail sentence. She had to wait around a bit. I forget some of the details, if she got to do a phone call or not. No evidence about being suicidal. Now let me show you the picture. And viewer discretion advised. But then again, it's all about if we see the same thing. You know, here we go. All right. This upsets me. So here is Sandra Bland, full of life, lovely, beautiful woman. Wish I could. Well, I suppose you get the picture. Okay, that's what a healthy young woman looks like. All right, let me see if I can. There you go. Do her a little justice there. Now here's where some of the conspiracy, a word I've grown to kind of hate a little bit, starts. Behold, this picture. It has been heavily, my experience, it has been heavily speculated that we are looking at deceased Sandra Bland, that they had to pose for the picture for booking. Look at this. Look at the eyes roll. I know we make funny faces during, getting your picture taken. I have been arrested when I was 18. My picture, I don't look like this. I have life in my face, and my eyes were open. I'm not smiling, but this right here, I mean, I wish I could enlarge this. I truly do. Let me see. It's so disturbing and creepy to look at. You can see there's pale. The eyes are rolled up. In this one, this speculation has continued that they, fixed her, that she's laying against the wall. If you look deeper, her hair, dreads, are pushed back. So that could be a number of things, right? I don't speak anything as truth or fact. Everything is in the realm of, what is it that I see and think, and then here we are. The art of speculation and sharing theories. So I do believe, this is as close as I'll get to admitting into any, conspiracy, I suppose, that we're looking at a deceased woman here. I'm trying to get a really nice, even though you probably got the picture by now, and I do not like looking at that picture. It has haunted me. But I think I found one where I can enlarge it just a bit more, and then I'm taking it off the damn screen. I mean, you saw what she looks like, alive, healthy, vibrant, I guess, a lack of makeup. But this is supposed to be day one when she was brought to the jail. Day one. Look into the case, Sandra Bland, it became a whole thing, a whole movement. And it's a case that I'll always... Oh, let me see. Speculation is that the mugshot of Sandra Bland was doctored and that she is lying down on the ground as opposed to up against the brick wall, as most mugshots are at the jail. Never forget Sandra Bland. There's a family out there that is missing a daughter, a mother, a sister, just another victim. And I say, my opinion, my verdict, cover up. Jumping into another case thrown my way, and I give a shout out to the one and only Forging Thought, who is going to be a guest on the Stuck in the Middle program tonight. I'm looking forward to that. That's been a long time coming. So let me give some context, and then I have some video I have to be a little clever with. Then I have a cautionary tale, which will be brief, but I'm going to do something live for good reason, and I hope it serves as a lesson. Oh, and that reminds me, there was another case I had, but too many things going on in the manic mind here. So John Lang, you guys familiar? Not the author from the 1700s. Let me read just a smidgen, and then I've got some things to show. John Lang made an anonymous warning on January 15th. Basically, the gentleman he's a Marine veteran, and he looked into some fuckery afoot by the Fresno Police Department, which didn't have a great track record at the time. He had found how they were illegally ticketing people, following their vehicles. Like, if I can't remember, you know what? I can just play the tail of the tape here. Let me close what is not necessary, and let me make sure. Okay, I see. Here we go. Here's somebody describing what he did. I forget if this is his own voice or not. Bear with me. And this content credit goes to one of my favorite podcasts, That Chapter.
I discovered local law enforcement had been running a license plate scanning scam where Fresno cops would scan license plates at retail store parking lots in lower income neighborhoods.
I know it's slow, guys. It won't be long, I promise.
After collecting hits of violations, they would then pull the unsuspecting drivers over a few blocks away from the store location in a marked police vehicle, claiming they simply came across the vehicle during their routine driving patrols. This unethical...
So low, I'm sorry. Unethical is correct. I was having trouble in my marriage. Then I was ticketed 2 blocks away from the home. This is a complaint. Home Depot on West Shaw in Fresno, where I just had visited. I later learned that Fresno law enforcement had a pattern of practice. John Lang wrote an article, and it was submitted anonymously to the Fresno media and newspaper, and one of the bastards that worked for the paper gave up his IP address to the police, full name, and everything that comes with an IP address. Please use a VPN, folks. It is a dangerous world, and it's getting even more dangerous. So let me just see as much as I can pull from here. They then pull the unsuspecting drivers over a block or 2 away from said parking lots. This was meant to optimize ticket revenue, because we're just revenue, apparently, when it comes to meeting their quotas. I am not a police hater, but when we have evidence of so much, unethical practices that break some sort of law, I have something to say. Quite a bit to say. Let me skip. I'm going to try to stop saying I'm going to start putting $5 in a jar. The added financial stress related to this incident crippled what was left of my marriage. So devastated, angry, upset, so on and so forth. I want to show some of the footage that he had to deal with that very much fed the man's paranoia. Now tell me if the paranoia is justified or not. I think it is, but I don't want to appear biased. And then just wait till you hear about the cause of death.
On stalking him, intimidating him, harassing, and possibly planning a break-in.
This is all from John Lang's security camera.
Was he being stalked by the local police? Well, there's a hell
of a lot of evidence. I don't want to play their entire video like a scumbag, but shout out to That Chapter.
Next, we see what John says is a member of Fresno PD conditioning John's dog, so that if they try access John's house, John's dog will submit to them.
Yeah, going up to the dog and feeding it every time. And then check out this next bit here.
And that they've also been breaking into his house when he's been out.
In front of your home. And this is a daily occurrence. Nothing going on. He was told he was crazy.
Things are getting very...
So I don't want to keep playing that video. So what I wanted to break into, I think there's absolute reason for suspicion, and he was very vocal about feeling that his life was in danger, going as far as tagging different local news media within the Fresno community and saying, if I come up missing, it's the Fresno PD. And he accumulated and amassed as much evidence as possible, called his ex-wife, and she is not talking. And so here is how they found him. Let me see how accurate this article is compared to what I have memorized. Let's see. Just 5 days later, okay, after he was warning everybody he was going to get got, 5 days later, the Fresno community activist was found, and this is a military veteran, by the way. He was a Marine. Was found stabbed to death inside his burning home, with supporters saying he was murdered. Are they really going to leave out? Okay, let me keep reading. Neighbors had spotted smoke in his house just after 3 p.m. last Wednesday. Firefighters forced their way into the home where they found laying inside his kitchen, bleeding and unconscious. He was taken to a nearby hospital and later declared dead. They're leaving out a detail, and I'm very alarmed by that. I'll pull up the autopsy if I have to. Fresno police noted that the death was suspicious. Oh, really? And that the house was intentionally set on fire. The circumstances grew even more bizarre, giving Lang's writing. He had long complained that Fresno police were stalking him, which he believed was in retribution for calling attention to their unethical practices. By the way, a Fresno police chief was being investigated shortly before this occurred for somebody that was confronting him about selling opiates. Just being a drug dealer. And this individual goes missing and is found dead 4 days later. So John Lang here, our activist, had a lot to contend with. 1 week before his death, Lang shared online a portion of a conversation explaining why he believed the police were after him. And I'm going to add the fact that they definitely are completely leaving out, which is, media, what is your job? Report the facts. Take out any op-eds, at least with an op-ed, they admit that they're going to add some of their own opinion to a piece. But this should be a fact-by-fact account. So what they've already left out, before I read the last thing he wrote publicly, they found him stabbed in the back. They tried to say that he stabbed himself in the front. So they got caught in a lie. He didn't stab himself in the chest, and he certainly didn't stab himself in the back 5 times. 5 stab wounds. 5 stab wounds, downward thrusting in the back. How? Tell me, is there any common sense way that anybody in any capacity, I don't care how double jointed you are and how talented, if you're Dick Grayson and freaking Robin and Batman or some crazy acrobat, or if you got no bones, you are not stabbing yourself in the back to kill yourself and then setting your house on fire. Not in that particular order. And what was the cause of death, regardless of the stabbing? Smoke, insulation. Yeah, smoke in the lungs. That's definitely what did it. So let me see what it is. Fresno People's Media published the account. This is sometimes the punishment when we allow too much corruption to run amok, to run so prevalent that it is commonplace in practice. This is my largest concern. I try on this channel not to go all political, but we the people need to unify far more than we find ourselves dividing over every stupid thing. Just today I shared with somebody, some customers at a magical job that I will never talk about, that I was going to vote for a certain individual. And the reaction I got was so full of vitriol and hate, I could tell I was already an enemy. Why? Because I don't think exactly like this person. And this I see across the board. Going back to the Ryan Upchurch thing that I'm never going to talk about again, I saw that within his own demographic. People that believed him, people that didn't. And then it turned into, you don't agree with me, you are the enemy. This is just going to make any nefarious powers that be, elite or whatever, the swamp, deep state. I'm not always wearing a tinfoil hat, I promise. But I think this is a very real threat. If we continue to be at each other's throats, things like this will continue to be brushed off. And I do intend to do a deep dive into human trafficking in the United States of America. It's something growing up I always thought was just over the borders. No, it's very much in our backyard. Epstein was not the only predator. I simply voiced my opinion regarding local government and politics on local blogs. I also discovered local law enforcement had been running a license plate scanning scam where Fresno cops would scan license plates at retail store parking lots in lower income neighborhoods. After collecting hits of violations, they then would pull the unsuspecting drivers over a few blocks away from the store location in a marked police vehicle, claiming they simply came across their vehicle, which is bullshit. It's unethical and possibly illegal activity. It was simply motivated by profit and unfairly targeted Fresno's poorer residents. And that was enough to have this man I can't say certain terms, right? Unalive himself? Are you shitting me? They're so brazen that they insult our intelligence. And they have to see that we're not that fucking stupid. Here's what I wanted to do live, guys. This is something different, and I require a full screen. But I wanted to make a point, okay? Because on this channel, I'm very passionate about, missing persons cases and any abuse of power. I have a lot of stories to share from my own life and people within it. But I'm going to go on my TikTok real quick, okay? And I found something that, well, I don't know, maybe for any parents out there, they should perhaps check out. Do you know who your kids are following on there? There doesn't appear to be any restraint or restriction in an account to allow somebody young to follow somebody older. I'm 37 years old. So I mess around on TikTok. It's nothing that I, sell my soul to. It's not my passion, but it's fun. It's a distraction. So looking at my inbox, I've happened upon an individual here who is definitely here. I don't want this is a minor, okay? She's following 2,581 people, and she is being followed. No, that's following. Yeah, by 378. This is definitely a minor. So this is not the first time. There was somebody much younger than this that started following my videos. So please ensure, check who's doing what where, especially if they're your own blood. And you know what? You just make sure, be a man of your word. Be like, I'm not just going to sit here and preach. I'm going to be about the action. Be the change you want to see in the world. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to ask. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to state, I am 37. You have I don't want to insult her. Please be careful who you follow. And that's all. I don't know. Something to that effect. Give me a moment. I'm going to do talk to text. I am a 37-year-old man, period. Please be careful who you follow and watch out for who follows you, period. There are some very bad people in this world, period. Please be safe, period. All right. Sent. I sent my message there, and there. That's all. It's just a point I wanted to make because it is a disturbing trend, and I wish TikTok or any of the social media outlets could do something, because perhaps a lot of these kids, they get lured in. Like on Twitch, there are people that are, very creepy ass men that are luring in younger kids under the pretense of fun video games, and then it gets disturbing. There's so many ways, and in this ever-expanding world of communication, you have to watch out for the people that are using it for all the wrong reasons, for nefarious intent. And all these cases I happen upon where it's another kid or it's another woman or any victim of any demographic that was lured in somehow through this device and this device alone. It's appalling, disturbing, and we need to do something about it. Raise awareness, talk to your kids, check their social media. I know invading a teenager space can be one of the most confrontational things that you can do, but sometimes it is a matter of life and death. I want to add the next video I want to do a little special. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Nickelodeon director of many shows like iCarly, so on and so forth. This may be an old one, but Dan Schneider. There's this girl who had a spin-off from the show that is writing a memoir, Tell All, and Nickelodeon tried to pay her off $300,000 so she would never repeat a word of what she experienced. Well, she didn't take the money, and now all the tea is getting spilled. I think I'm going to buy a copy of her book and do a piece on it here. And what's another thing? I swear there was one more, but I have what I call sometimes a Biden moment where I space out. Oh, it was just there with me, but if I can't recall, I can't recall. Well, for now, okay, forget it. It's okay. It only happened live with people watching, but I'm okay with that. So I just want to say later tonight, 10 p.m., every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, the thing I want to remember, it keeps on like banging on the back of my head. It's driving me nuts. Is when I go on youtube.com/stuck in the middle. I left the link in the last video from last night, and I put it in the live chat. Feel free to visit, but I have to warn you guys, it is humor that can be a bit vulgar, and if you're okay with that, in some videos that are played by my co-host, as talented and funny as he is, or sometimes the things that I worry about getting the third strike for. I think our show is completely shadow banned, but you can still subscribe. Stuck in the Middle is the name. youtube.com/stuckinthe-middle. I'll be there tonight at 10. I got one of my first ex-girlfriends joining. She has started a foundation for domestic abuse survivors of every age, demographic, gender, and what have you. And I'm very impressed and very proud. She has come a long way. Her name is Crystal Bay, and I'm proud to share that information. She will be a guest tonight. Whatever it was that I wanted to remember, I will, and share it at a future time. So for now, let me do my little sign-off, which is a play on my name, Progressive Patriot. I put two things that don't belong together. I was taught they don't belong together. And I want to always remind anybody that will hear me, we need to celebrate that which unifies us, and then identify that which is supposed to divide us or does divide us, and let that be an invitation for dialogue. Only through dialogue can we reach an understanding of one another, and maybe, just maybe, we can get better at this thing called the human condition. And perhaps my grandest dream is speaking truth to power, and having that power listen and respect the people they are supposed to represent once again. That's all I got for you today. I'm going to prep for the other show. Good night, much love, and thank you, one and all. Feel free to send me topics, concepts, feedback, anything that you want to say right here, comments-wise, or progressivepatriot44@gmail.com. Much love to you all.